Hello. Awesome. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I never let that slow me down in the past. This video appeared on my YouTube feed a few who knows, weeks ago, and I decided to watch it because why not? As soon as I got a couple of minutes into this video, I was like, I need to make a reaction to it, but it would be kind of strange because, well, you can see the title, so I don't know. It might be a good idea, it might be a bad idea, but we're going to find out together, right? This might be a bad idea because I felt like the Amir guy is kind of racist against black people, that is. And what makes me say that is, we'll see in the video, but right off the bat, what makes me say that is when I watched the video, he very much said some stuff that racist people in my family would say sometimes, or all the time if race came up. And so it's kind of hard to navigate. I know that I'm not racist, so I feel like I'm pretty safe, but you never know. I get the script flipped on me, and it's like, oh, damn, maybe that won't happen. Hopefully it won't happen. So anyways, that's enough rambling. Let's just go on and do it.
Interactions with black people are negative. If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for?
Black people. Nick Fuentes is a name that some of you guys may know and some of you may not know. He is a very controversial figure, so to say. He's worked with Ye.
It's beyond controversial, and it's not a so to say issue. Nick Fuentes, straight up, he is a white nationalist, okay?
Podcast with Candace Owens. He's had beef with
Candace Owens is, like, weird.
Turning point for years as I can remember. He's a very interesting guy. I've never met him. He has his own opinions on various different things. The one thing I will say about Nick is that he's been doing this for, I think, well over a decade now. I think he's been making videos and streaming, and he's been doing this for years. And as far as I've seen him throughout all these years, he's been pretty consistent in his views and vocal about the things that he seems passionate about. And recently,
I mean, what I am going to say isn't a defense of Nick Fuentes, but I saw a couple of weeks ago where he was saying, hey, I kind of doubt on a bunch of that race realist and different things like that. I don't believe him, but maybe he has, but I do not believe him.
He went on a rant about black people, and apparently it's a rant that I'm not going to disagree with. I don't know. We're just going to give it a watch, and we're going to react to Nick Fuentes' opinion on why he has his own black fatigue and where his views are when it comes to the black culture and the black community in America today. What's interesting about Nick, and I don't wish this on anybody at all. I may disagree with Nick on some things, but he has the right to say what he wants to say. He has had his fair share of threats. He's been kicked off the payment platforms.
This isn't an argument for Fuentes, him, like Amir. He was kicked off of those things for very good reasons. It's so weird to me whenever someone espouses a bunch of horrible opinions and beliefs, and then they get banned from a bunch of different websites or services, and it's like, that's their free speech. Don't you get that? They all have freedom of speech as well. And part of that freedom of speech is saying, I don't want to associate with this person. So you either have to take the good with the bad, or you got to say, I don't believe in freedom of speech, and these platforms should be compelled to provide their services to someone they fundamentally disagree with or think is dangerous.
Banks. It's a little much for me, honestly, but it's for these reasons that when people see what he has to say, they agree on the low, but they don't say anything out loud, because when you do say the things that Nick says, you will get hated on. You will. And even as a black man myself, as that is crucial about the black community and the gay community, I get crapped onto a lot. And what sucks is that there are a lot of people who have the same views as Nick does, or even as me, that can't openly speak out about these things because they don't want to be fear of getting canceled and they don't want to be doxxed. And I have to be honest with you, if you want to prevent yourself from being doxxed,
I'm planning on speaking out against them, and I'm afraid of getting canceled. So that's where we are as a culture.
Look, I think black people are not irredeemable. There just needs to be brutal honesty. It's these black people are really struggling, and they're turning into these maniacs. Seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel, and nobody hates black people for being black. If there are people,
that's just not true. There are tons of people who hate black people for being black. White supremacy is more based around the culture, and it's white culture. I'm not trying to say it isn't. The white supremacists, though, will allow, let's be real here, allow, not accept, not encourage, but allow other races to live in their society if they capitulate and if they act like a white person.
People like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative.
Now, I will say, as a black man, I believe Nick lives around or in Chicago. He's in the Midwest, and I'm from the same areas as him. This is true. We talk about it on this channel. He said two important things. He doesn't think that we're not, like, and he doesn't think it's because of the color of our skin. It's literally how we're acting in the streets. And when
do you think that black culture got to where it is today? Like, do you think that black Americans are living in a vacuum where nothing outside affects them? I mean, I don't support violence or anything else like that, but in America, we have set the system up in such a way that it's really difficult for native black people, people from America, I'm talking about native black people, to the United States. African American immigrants that are also black, they don't face the same challenges, I guess I can say, as the black community does in America. They weren't raised in the culture that tells them they're not shit. You see, it's a major difference. And I also want to go back to the point about people's interactions with black people being mostly negative. That is never been my experience. If anything, I've always gotten along with black people better than other white people. I'm from New Orleans. New Orleans is a majority black city, so that may have something to do with it. I just don't see a huge difference in the black people I met in New Orleans or Alabama or Georgia or here in Texas and what I see in other communities, black communities. And an over-the-road truck driver for 8 years. And while I wasn't in black communities all the time with my truck, I did meet tons of more black people all over the country, and the baseline black person seems to be pretty all right. They're just people. You see what
I think about every horrible interaction that I've had in my life. And if I had to look at it through the data on who they were, what they looked like, male, female, race, it's black, which is funny enough because throughout my life, I was always told that, black power and unite. That's funny because the most supportive people that have ever been in my life to push me beyond my goals and my dreams, to support me, have been white people, not black people in my life. Never.
Once again, they're trying to, I don't know for a fact, of course, but I would say that would be them, the white people, trying to indoctrinate and ingrain you in white supremacy. And sorry, but it kind of looks like we're not all the way through the video yet.
Never been the case. And before anybody even thinks to say, oh, well, Amir, that makes sense, you want to content to white people, or you're just trying to appease the white man and stay in these circles, this, this, and the third. There's no circles for me to stay in. I mind my business at my home with my dog and my man. That's it. I made a whole video critiquing Trump. I made videos critiquing Israel. I don't care. I care. This channel, we're going to talk about the things that we want to talk about from an open and honest perspective. And when it comes to this topic of black people and people having the worst interactions with this group of people, it is true. It's like you black people, my gosh, white people. Look at every major black rapper that has died this last decade. It's been at the hands of other black people. You look at every...
On that point, the reason I feel that is the case, because what he just said is true, same reason most white people get killed by other white people. It's who's in your community, right?
New rule regarding like the teen takeovers, which I've gone through in another video. You look at every new rule, why there needs to be chaperones for teenagers at theme parks, at water parks, at malls, the list goes on. It's because of these young black teens.
I'm not even aware of that. I don't have children, much less black teenage children, so I'm not super aware of that. But I think it's more children, children, teenagers are pretty much children too. Okay, I'm about to sound an old man. It's the TikToks. It's the TikTok doing it. It's not because they're black and then it's like, you have to have chaperone now. It's if they didn't have the TikToks.
As someone who was a server, when you look at who tips and who doesn't.
That's true. That's just true.
The reason no one wants to be sat with a black table. You're on the streets, or it's funny, in Nashville, if you're a Nashville native, and I'm not a dramatic, You can just look on Google Maps. There's 24, and it runs through Williamson County, which is like the richest county in Tennessee, mainly all rich white folk. And then 24 runs through like the more low income areas or culturally diverse areas of town. One of these interstates I hate driving on because people are very inconsiderate. They're cutting people off, slamming on brakes, zooming through, speeding, broke down cars. Being honest here, like we have to be brutally honest with each other and what we're experiencing and seeing in society, whether it's fear of being called a racist. The data is math isn't racist. What we're looking at isn't racist. It's just, it is what it is.
Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what? Not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane, and, you know, not everybody can do this. Like, these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply.
I'm someone that is obsessed with the body cam footages, Code Blue Cam, Midwest Safety, Daily Dose of Crime. Like, listen, I love them. And there's a common denominator. I've seen this in videos, and I've seen this for myself. Whenever there's traffic, the person always flying down the shoulder selfishly.
That one, personally, that one is just race. It's inconsiderate people. The race doesn't really have much to do with it. I feel like Nick Fuentes and Amir would say, well, all the black people are inconsiderate, which obviously is not true because no group of people is a monolith. But in my experience, like I say, 8 years of road truck driving and more so, like decade plus of just driving everybody. And it's getting really, really, really bad.
In the society that creates, the lack of, it doesn't create something fun. I'm someone who loves Miami. I love Wynwood. I can't do South Beach. Never, because it's too black.
Officers are patrolling the streets of South Beach.
The stepped-up enforcement
I don't
comes amid a
have any
chaotic spring break
experience
filled with
down there,
violence and
so
lawlessness.
I can't really speak on it.
It's too dangerous. It's too ratchet. I don't want to deal with the rowdiness. It's unfortunate. Even Vegas, I just go to the rich bougie casinos. Oh, it's so much nicer. So much nicer. It's the hitting some points. It really is.
Lie to them. They have no respect for society.
Why would black people have any respect for American society? It's like, do you know what we did? But God, I understand why someone say that. And I even understand, like, I agree with it to a certain, because I live in society and I want society to be nice and functional. The majority of black people are nice and functional. I feel like you're really focusing on the minority here. And still, to go back to what I was saying, I mean, they're part of it. They're here in society as well. At the same time, every time they turn around, they got a boot on their neck. So why would they respect that? It's kind of like the same way I feel, and be wrong, of course. I see it the same way as I see MAGA and the conservatives that are in power right now. They want a nice and functional society. So if they were to try to force me to capitulate to their idea of what society should look like, I would do as much as possible to sabotage that.
And like, that's their interaction is they are, and they wait on a black table, and the black people don't tip. And
we're back
rude.
to this,
which I just spoke about. Is definitely true. I was on the host before I was serving, and even the black waitresses would come up to me like, Amir, do not send me with the black people. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so racist and rude. Why not? So they don't tip. And they don't. They're the most rude people to serve, and they don't tip. People talk about it all the time. I just went snowboarding. I went snowboarding up in Big Sky. I took a private lesson that day. We had stopped to take a break, and she's like, oh, just set your stuff right here. Picture of the screen of my board and my outfit. Oh, I love that. I get to go back snowboarding. But she's like, oh, you can just leave it here. And I'm like, I just paid so much money for this equipment. What you mean just leave it here? She's like, it'll be fine. It's gonna stay. It stays.
You're on a mountain. There's no one around. Like even in the picture he showed, there was no one in the background.
Because no one's gonna steal it. You know, we've seen those pranks of, oh, what a PlayStation in the hood. You will get jumped, robbed, and beat. You walk around with a PlayStation in a white neighborhood. Oh, sweet. What's your gamer tag? Oh, can I come play with you? Oh, where'd you get it?
Maybe.
Those interactions, it's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, oh, here we go. And the
Attitude.
it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude.
Because even for me and a lot of other black people out there, we talk about the difference between a regular black person and what Nick is talking about, unfortunately, make up of, I would say, a good chunk of black people. A good chunk.
See, that is what I was talking about at the beginning. They would say the same type of things about black people. And I'm not going to say the word, obviously, but I do believe he is talking about ER and not A, and they would say the same thing. And they would say it about different races as well. Only it wasn't, they wouldn't say a different derogatory describe them. They would just say, and whenever I would question them, like, what do you mean? Out an entire theory, they would go get their whiteboard out and start writing down, like, let me explain how this are, it doesn't matter. there's white ones, there's Asian, and they like that's how dehumanized and degrading a lot of white culture, white supremacy especially, has treated black people and their identity and personhood, because that word reduces them down to an object. That's what, I could be wrong, I believe that is what they were referred to back in slavery as a way to describe your property. And I found out a few years ago is that the word Oriental, which a lot of people, myself included, used to use to describe Asian people. And the reason that is bad, I know that now, so I stopped, but the reason that is bad is because Oriental is how you describe an object. So referring to a group of people as Oriental is dehumanizing, just so you know.
Selfish, rude, entitled, and it's someone saying this as a self-hating black person. I'm saying this as someone who loves my skin, is comfortable in my skin, love who I am, and I'm tired of being looked at a certain way because of how the people who look like me act. I'm fully well aware there's an ample amount of other black people out there who resonate with what I'm saying, who are good, productive people in society, who contribute to society, who are doing good. But even then, and I'm glad things are changing, but sometimes we'll be the same people too, still talking about, oh, white supremacy, Black Lives Matter. And it's saddening, it's frustrating, because are there some injustices that we need to address in America regarding race? Sure. Point them to me, we'll talk about it. We can talk about it. But to sit here and say that in 2025, I am not my ancestors' dream and I'm not living in the best America for a black person, that's wild. This is the best time to be a black person in America today.
That might be true. I mean, I wouldn't argue against it that the best time to be a black person in America, I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and say true. That doesn't mean it's good. And when I say that, I'm not saying it's bad. I think it is better than it has been ever. But they still were raised in the society that used to treat them as property by parents who, a lot of them, showing my age, but whenever I was a teenager, kid, a lot of my black friends had grandparents that were not allowed to vote, stuff like that. And whenever you have that knowledge and that piece of information, it could the way you perceive the country. Does it skew it to something more accurate, or does it skew it in a more negative light? That's not for me to decide. I've never had to experience those types of things. I've just had people educate me about it, and I've educated myself as well. I feel like he should know that, Amar. And I don't know, like I say, I just feel like he should have a better understanding of it, not because he's black per se. I mean, it could definitely help, I think. No, I don't know. It's a subject, as you can.
Okay. And I will actually retract that. It is, but it isn't. It is in the amount of opportunities we're afforded, but it isn't in the sense of how we're acting. It isn't in the sense of how our families have been just decoupled and eroded. It isn't on the terms of how many black people depend on the government.
Okay, so that brings up something we can talk about. Why do you think the black family has been decoupled? Why do you think, I keep wanting to say declarative statements whenever I really shouldn't. There's more black people in jails, in prisons, than any other race, whenever they're only about 13% of the country. You think that's an accident?
Those aren't the good things. The good things are what we're free to do. I'm free to go to a restaurant, free to drink from a water fountain, those types of things. I'm free to that. But
we're losing those. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but gay marriage is on the chopping block right now. And if you don't think that if we do that, it doesn't open up the gates for a lot of other regressive actions, I think you may be a bit naive.
But this idea that everything's racist and white people are racist for having opinions, or Nick's racist for having this 4-minute video that we're watching, I have all the same feelings. And again, I stress it for the people that are on the fence about this or very judgmental about Nick and the things that he's saying right now. I'm not a self-hating black person for calling out the truth. Just not.
People don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect.
Yeah.
It is true that black people are, this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking.
Moral character, that part is valid too. It's a meme. It's literally to a certain point, jokes point to reality. Jokes have some type of grounding, And when a joke of I don't want to live near a person, or the black person moved into the community, so my property value went down, to a certain extent, that comes from somewhere.
That this stereotype that you're describing right now, whenever a black person moves into a neighborhood, most people, especially Americans, will know there goes the neighborhood. For those that don't know, there goes the neighborhood means a black person moved in on our street. Okay? So it's like if you're already treating people as soon as you see them, it's hostile, don't you think they're going to respond hostile? Like, I don't know, to me it just sense. If people have another opinion, you could feel free to let me know. If you want to talk about it, I'd love to. I'd love to talk to him. It'd be awesome. Like I said, it's simply like it was approaching me like I'm hostile and I'm dangerous and their guard is up. I'll approach them the same exact way. It would be foolish not to, because what happens when you turn your back? You see what I mean? And that doesn't matter about the race at all. It could be another white person. For me, it doesn't matter. It's just how you enter the situation, and you're already off on a bad foot and being perceived as the worst you could possibly be. So that has been the case for a couple hundred years here in the United States. They've been treated and degraded and dehumanized. So whenever, like, how do you think they're going to act?
Black people, it does come with some quote unquote baggage. The jokes exist for a reason, you guys. They do. It's sad. It's unfortunate. There's a reason there's no black club in Nashville. Or the ones that get up to club status or like really mainstream, they get shot up. All these bars on Broadway in Nashville, they still there. White people just going up here and shooting up it nonstop. And before, if someone's watching this video still, I applaud you for still being here.
Wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for?
Black people. Like, that's what you're looking for. If I own a business and I know in my local area, majority of the crimes are happening by someone that's black, I'm going to be profiling. That's what marketing is. Marketing is profiling. If I'm selling, I'm going to profile people that like fishing rods, that like fishing, and I'm going to market them. And the same thing is reversed. If I know that the person that steals the most, dreadhead young black man, sagging pants, coming here and blasting music, goggles are on, I'm like, what's happening here? Profiling. People jump so quick and they tense up at the thought of racial profiling. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. What is marketing?
Ice. Like right now, today, you kind of can't really feel like profiling is good. Like,
What marketing is. It's profiling. That's all it is. You're profiling different target markets and you're going after them. And the same thing can be done in reverse. If I want to protect my business, I'm going to profile who's going to come after my business. It's not that hard and it doesn't have to be taken this offensively. It genuinely doesn't. If I'm walking down the street,
who remembers the Koreans on roofs
at night and I know, not even that, but in the year 2025, a black man's more likely to die and killed by another black man than a Klansman. So why the hell am I going to be scared of some damn Klansman? There should be no reason why at 2 a.m. walking down the street, on the other side, I see just a group of white teens, and on this side, I see a group of black men. As a black man, I'm uncomfortable walking down that side with the black men. It's not because I hate black people. I'm black. It's because of the data. And what's there?
I might say something disparaging against black people right now. If I was this dude, I would be more worried about speaking around the black people at 2 a.m. on the street. We're being honest, right? We're being honest here, right? A ton of the black community is violently homophobic.
And who's doing what? It's that simple.
And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not. Every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative.
I've lived in the north. I've lived in the suburbs of Chicago. I've gone to visit my family in Chicago countless times as a child. And I've lived in the South. And no matter where I'm at, when I look through my life and experiences that I've had, mostly been negative with black people.
Sometimes extremely negative, like I could get a gun in my face. No,
I just, I'm not going to say Amir's, I'm not going to invalidate his experiences. I would never do that to somebody. I have had majority good experiences with black people. And I wonder if it's because I approach them like I would a white person or an Asian person or a Hispanic person. I just approach them and speak to them like they're people. So they treat me with the same respect in return. So I'm curious how Nick and Amir are approaching black people in America.
That's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like,
He
I'm really
is.
not. I'm a really friendly, really polite, friendly person.
Have you ever been to the South, man? Like, what I'm trying to say is there are racist people down south that you wouldn't know it just from meeting them one time. You would think that person is perfectly pleasant and reasonable. Well, what'd y'all talk about? You know?
Person, I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and
listen, if I'm experiencing that, I'm on alert. I'm like, what's about to happen? What's going down?
I'm in fear for my life. Like, yeah, I have a problem with all of
No word. Listen, so far in this video, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. You look at the fool in these fast food restaurants, in these stores, hipping and hollering, giving police a hard time. It's black people. It's why black fatigue is on the rise. It's why like just genuine disdain for the unlawful and rudeness of black people is driving people up a wall.
The stuff you see online is driven by, so if more people are engaging with videos of black people acting a fool to, I guess, validate the way that they already feel about black people, it's going to circulate a lot more. It's like it reinforced, that's the word I was looking for, validate. So it reinforced the feelings a lot of people already had, and that made it spread like wildfire. And the same thing could be said about other viral videos, but it reinforces negative perceptions that people already have, so it gets spread around more than if a white guy were to go into a gas station, a Circle K, and start doing all that crap, because it would be, it just wouldn't get spread around in the same way.
A black issue. It's not racist to point it out.
And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior. If black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir?
I'm sorry, but what group of people do you say that about? Because I can't think of any. It's always, for me personally, it's always neutral. I wonder if that's where these issues are coming from and why they are having such horrible experiences with black people. I mean, seriously, like, I'm trying to think through my head. It's like I've gotten arguments, I've gotten in fist fights with, I just have. I don't think any of that was because they were black. I think it was just two people, me, a white guy, and them, the black guy. We just didn't get along, or we had an argument, or anything else. Like,
Please come right on in. Man, what a relief to see here. You're a sight for sore eyes.
Did he lie? If it was the other way, praise. Like, oh my gosh, you're black, come on in. Oh my gosh, you're black, I love you. Oh my gosh, this is great. Are there some black people, obviously, that are great and joy to be around? You see them, you're like, oh my gosh, come on in, yes. More often.
Once again, what group of people are you like that with? Because for me, it's nobody.
than not, it has to do with the decorum and how you're handling yourself and how you carry yourself. And then is it even to say, oh, I have to carry my white man? And like, no, it just means pull your pants up. It just means talk in a respectful tone. It just means not show every ounce of your body in public. It means not twerking in the middle of the street. It means not waving your gun around. If I'm looking back, the only times I've ever called the point for no damn white kids.
If black people are known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally.
Please, which group? Which group do you look at as
really
the best?
It's just in this damn ass city, because that's all it is in Chicago, is just these black people who can never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
Yep, that's what black people always run to. It's someone else's fault. It's the white man's fault. It's parents' fault. It's never looked internal. It's always someone else's fault. That is a problem that needs to be addressed in the black community. And
I swear, dude, it's not a problem in the black community. It's a problem in American culture. Like, that attitude that he's speaking of right now, like, it's never your fault, it's always someone else's fault. That is a culture. That's not black culture. If I had to guess, you just don't pay attention when white people do it. You only remember it when a black person does it, because it reinforces a belief you already had about them.
And I want to know, on this video, was there anything that he said that you firmly disagree with? White, black, it don't matter. Let me know in the comments below. I would love to know. What did he say that made you so mad? Or did he say something that were the truth? I was sent this video. I'm fully well aware of who this man is, but as someone who is very much for free speech, as someone who thinks somebody can say whatever they want to say, this guy Nick can say what he wants to say. I really don't care. You can not like him, you can like him. I don't care. But it is interesting how much this man has been banned from places, money away. I mean, it's excessive, and a lot of it points to the things that he talks about. I do know that critical of Israel, and we all are fully aware of what happens when you're very critical of Israel. You get banned from different places. It's Semitic to say that that's something that actually happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you really can't say anything about Israel right now. The crackdowns on the college campuses about the anti-Israel or Zionist protest and stuff like that. And I think ICE picked up and deported someone that was part of some of those anti-Zionist protests. That's bad. So I'm with you on that one. That's not why Nick dislikes Israel. Okay? Okay?